Good evening, everyone. My name is Melissa Bernstein, and I'm the Artistic Director of Newton Theater Company. We're thrilled to have you here tonight for our very first radio play, Sorry, Wrong Number. We have missed you, and we hope this finds you feeling well, and we're so happy to connect with you in this way. We do want to let you know that we'll be having many more of these radio hours, and if you are not already on our email list, after the show, please go to newtontheatercompany.com and sign yourself up so you'll get information on all the plays coming up. I do want to give a special shout out tonight to my father-in-law, Al Bernstein, who remembers listening to this original radio broadcast of Sorry, Wrong Number in 1943. And I'm super happy that he's back listening and watching it again tonight. And now I'd like to introduce you to our resident bartender, Eric Glass, who's going to help you make a drink, a delicious cocktail that you can sip while you're enjoying our show. Take it away, Eric.
Hello, tonight we're going to be making a classic Manhattan, a drink that was, of course, created in New York in the post-war era, and by post-war I mean post-Civil War. This drink goes back a long way. We're going to be using tonight's rye whiskey, sweet vermouth, and two different kinds of bitters, and for a garnish, a cherry. So the recipe is pretty easy. I've got here a mixing glass filled with ice. We're going to have 2 parts of whiskey. And again, this is rye whiskey. You are welcome to use Canadian whiskey or even bourbon if that's what you have at home. So 2 of these get poured in. And then it is 1 part sweet vermouth. Right in. And 2 kinds of bitters. We have the Angostura bitters. We're going to do 2 dashes of that. 1 and 2. And 1 dash of orange bitters, if you happen to have those in the house. And this is a drink that is, with apologies to James Bond, is stirred, not shaken. And you'll want to stir it for a good 15 or 20 seconds so that the drink is nice and cold. There's no ice in the drink. And then it's diluted just a bit because it is a pretty strong drink when you start it out. There we go. Now let's see, we've got our strainer, hops on the top, and it is usually served in a coupe glass, just like this one. Pour it in. And now on a spear, we've got our cherry garnish. These Luxardo cherries are wonderful. And there is your classic Manhattan. And now over to the man in black.
Good evening. This is the Man in Black. I'm called the Man in Black because I have an aversion to light. I am here in the studio tonight. What are you doing? Dim the light, you fool! Imbeciles! Excuse me. Where was I? Oh, yes. Tonight, I am here to introduce you to a program written by a woman who has seen into the darkest side of human weakness, the hateful, the mean thoughtlessness that leads to murder. Tonight, from Newton, Massachusetts, we present a compelling actress we discovered in the dark and dreary eucalyptus swamps of Piscataway, New Jersey. The incredible Miss Linda Getz appears in a study of terror written by Lucille Fletcher called Sorry, Wrong Number, about a woman who is caught in an unfortunate predicament involving the telephone company and the police. This program is not for the squeamish. Listen at your own risk.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, ma'am. Is someone there?
Operator, can you hear me?
Now I can.
Oh, operator, I've been trying to call Murray Hill 40098 for the last half hour, and it's been busy. I don't see how it could be possibly busy that long. Can you try that number for me, please?
I'll be glad to try that number for you. One moment, please.
I don't see how it could possibly be busy all that time. It's my husband's office, and I'm all alone here in the house, and my health is very poor, and I've been feeling so nervous all day.
Ringing Murray Hill 40098.
Hello?
Hello, is Mr. Stevenson there?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, George?
Yeah, this is George speaking.
Well, hello? What number is this, please? What am I calling?
I'm here with our client.
Okay, good. Is everything okay? Is the coast clear for tonight?
Yes, George. He says the coast is clear for tonight.
Okay.
Where are you now?
I'm in a phone booth. Don't worry about it. Everything's okay.
Very well. You know the address.
Yeah, I know. Let me see now. At 11 o'clock, the private patrolman goes around the corner to 2nd Avenue for a beer.
That's right. 11 o'clock. And be sure all the lights downstairs are out.
Okay.
There should be only one light visible from the street.
Yeah, okay.
What's that? Just a minute, George. Our client tells me that at 11:15, a train crosses the bridge. It makes a noise in case a window is open and she should scream.
Hello, what number is this, please?
I understand. That's the 11:15 train, huh?
Yeah. Do you remember everything else, George?
Yeah. I'll make it quick. As little blood as possible, because our client does not wish to make us suffer.
That's right. You'll use a knife.
Oh, yeah, a knife. It'll be okay. Then afterwards, I'll remove the rings and the bracelets and the jewelry from the bureau drawer, because our client wishes to make it look like a simple robbery. Don't worry. Everything's okay. I know.
How awful. How unspeakably awful. Hello? Hello? Operator?
Your number, please?
I've just been cut off.
What number will you be calling?
Well, operator, I was supposed to be calling Murray Hill 40098, but it wasn't. Some wires must have gotten crossed and I was cut into a wrong number, and I just heard the most dreadful thing. Something about a murder, and operator, you'll simply have to retrace that call at once.
I beg your pardon? May I help you?
I know it was a wrong number and I had no business listening, but these two men, they were cold-blooded fiends, and they are going to murder somebody, some poor, innocent woman who was all alone in a house near a bridge, and we've got to stop them. We've just got to.
What number are you dialing?
It doesn't matter what number I was calling. This was a wrong number and you dialed it for me, and we've got to find out what it was immediately.
What number did you call?
Oh, why are you so stupid? What time is it? Do you mean to tell me you can't find out what number that was just now?
I'll connect you to the chief operator.
Oh, I think it's perfectly shameful. Now look, it was obviously some little slip of the finger. I told you to try to dial Murray Hill 40098 for me. You dialed it, but your finger must have slipped, and I was connected with some other number, and I could hear them, but they couldn't hear me. Now, I simply failed to see why you couldn't make that same mistake again on purpose. Well, why couldn't you try to dial Murray Hill 40098 in the same careless way?
Murray Hill 40098. I will try to get it for you.
Thank you. Operator. Operator.
I'm sorry, Murray Hill 40098 is busy.
Operator. Operator.
Your call, please?
You didn't try to get that wrong number at all. I asked you explicitly, and all you did was dial it correctly.
I am sorry. What number are you calling?
Can't you for once forget about what number I'm calling and do something for me? Now, I want you to trace that call. It's my civic duty, and it's your civic duty to trace that call and apprehend those dangerous killers. And if you won't,
I will connect you with the chief operator.
well, please. All this talk can't make anyone listen.
This is the chief operator.
Oh, chief operator, I want you to trace a call, a telephone call, immediately. I don't know where it came from or who was making it, but it's absolutely necessary that it be tracked down because it was about a murder, that someone's planning a terrible, cold-blooded murder of a poor, innocent woman tonight at 11:15.
I see.
Can you trace it for me? Can you track it down? Can you track down those men?
Well, I'm not certain. It depends.
It depends on what.
It depends on whether the call is still going on. If it's a live call, we can trace it on the equipment. If it's been disconnected, we can't.
Disconnected?
If the parties have stopped talking to each other.
Oh, but of course they must have stopped talking to each other by now. That was at least 5 minutes ago. And they didn't sound like the type that would make a long call.
Well, I could try tracing it. May I have your name, please?
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Elbert Stevenson, but listen.
And your telephone number, please?
Plaza 32098, but if you go on wasting all this time.
Why do you want this number, this telephone number traced?
Why? No reason. I mean, I merely felt very strongly that something ought to be done about it. These men sounded like killers. They're dangerous. They're going to murder this woman at 11:15 tonight. I thought the police ought to know.
Have you reported this to the police?
Well, no, not yet.
You want this call checked purely as a private individual?
Yes, but meanwhile.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Stevenson, but I'm afraid we couldn't make this check for you and trace the call just on your say-so as a private individual.
But why?
We have to have something more official.
Oh, for heaven's sake. You mean to tell me I can't report there's going to be a murder without getting tied up in all this red tape? Why, it's perfectly idiotic. Well, all right. I'll call the police.
I'm sure that'll be the best way to deal with your situation.
Ridiculous. I've never heard of such nonsense.
Your call, please?
Police department. Get me the police department, please.
Ringing the police department.
Ring it direct.
Sergeant Martin speaking, Police Station 53.
Police department. This is Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Albert Smythe Stevenson of 5353 North Sutton Place. I'm calling to report a murder.
Eh?
I mean, the murder hasn't been committed yet. I overheard plans for it over the telephone, over a wrong number that the operator gave me. And I've been trying to trace down the call myself, but everybody is so stupid. And I guess in the end, you're the only people that can do anything.
Yes, ma'am.
It was a perfectly definite murder. I heard their plans distinctly. Two men were talking, and they were going to murder some woman at 11:15 tonight. She lived in a house near a bridge, and are you listening to me?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yeah.
And there was a private patrolman on the street. He was going to go around for a beer on 2nd Avenue, and there was going to be, there was a third man, a client who was paying to have this poor woman murdered. They were going to take her rings and her bracelets and use a knife. Well, it's unnerved me dreadfully, and I'm not well.
Yes, I see. When was all this, ma'am?
About 8 minutes ago. Oh, then you can do something about it. You do understand.
What's your name, ma'am?
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Albert Stevenson,
And your address, please.
5353 North Sutton Place. That's near a bridge, Queensboro Bridge, you know. And we have a private patrolman on our street.
Yeah.
And Second Avenue is
What was the number you were calling?
Murray Hill, 40098. That wasn't the number I overheard. I mean, Murray Hill 40098 is my husband's office.
Mm-hmm.
He's working late tonight, and I was trying to reach him to ask him to come home.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very sick, an invalid, you know, and it's the maid's night off, and I hate being alone. And even though
Yeah, well,
even though he says as long as I have the telephone next to me right here.
yeah, well, we'll look into it, Mrs. Stevenson, and see if we can check with the telephone company.
The telephone company said that they couldn't check the call. The parties have stopped talking. I've already taken care of that.
Oh, you have?
Yes. And personally, I feel you ought to do something more immediate and drastic than just check the call. What good does checking the call do if they stop talking? By the time you track it down, they'll have already committed the murder.
Yeah, well, we'll take care of it. Don't you worry.
I say the whole thing calls for a search, a complete and thorough search of the whole city. I'm very near a bridge, and I'm not very far
You said.
from Second Avenue. And I know I'd feel a whole lot better if you sent around a radio car to this neighborhood.
Yeah,
At
well, what makes you think the murder is going to be committed in your neighborhood, ma'am?
I don't know. Only the coincidence is so horrible. Second Avenue, the patrolman, the bridge.
Yeah, well, Second Avenue, you know, is a very long street, ma'am. And you know how many bridges there are in New York alone, not to mention Brooklyn and Staten Island and Queens
I
and the
know.
Bronx.
that.
Well, but how do you know it isn't some little house on Staten Island, on some little Second Avenue you never heard about? How do you know they're even talking about New York at all?
But I heard the call on the New York dialing system.
Well, maybe it was long distance call you overheard.
No.
You know, telephones are funny things. Now look, why don't you look at it this way? Supposing you hadn't broken in on that telephone call, supposing you got your husband the way you always do, you wouldn't be upset now, would ya?
Well, I suppose not. But it sounded so inhuman, so cold-blooded.
Well, a lot of murders are plotted in this city, ma'am, every day. We manage to prevent almost all of them. But a clue of this kind is so vague, it's like not having any clue at all. Unless, of course, you have some reason for thinking this call was phony or somebody was planning on to murder you.
Me? No, I hardly think so. I mean, who would want to? Well, I'm alone all day and night, and the only person I see is my maid, Eloise, and she's a big 200-pounder.
Yeah.
Too lazy to bring up my breakfast tray. And the only other person is my husband, Albert, and well, he's crazy about me. He adores me. He waits on me hand and foot.
Mm-hmm.
He has scarcely left my side since I took sick 12 years ago.
Yeah, well, then there's nothing for you to worry about. And you just leave the rest to us. We'll take care of it.
Well, what will you do? It's so late already. It's nearly 11.
Lady, we'll take care of it.
Well, will you broadcast it all over the city and send out squads and warn your radio cars to watch out, especially in suspicious neighborhoods like mine?
Lady, I said we take care of it. Now, I got a couple of other matters here on my desk that require immediate attention. So, good night, ma'am, and thank you.
Oh, you idiot! Why did I hang up the phone like that? Now he'll think I'm a fool. Why doesn't Albert come home? Why doesn't he? I'll get the operator again.
call, please?
Operator, for heaven's sakes. Will you ring that Murray Hill 400 number again? I can't think what's keeping him so long.
I will try it for you. I'm sorry, Murray Hill 40098 is busy. I will try.
I can hear it. You don't have to tell me. I know it's busy. If only I could get out of this chair for a little while. I could just get some fresh air. If I could just look out the window and see the street. Hello, Albert. Hello. Hello. What's the matter with this phone? Hello? 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 For heaven's sake, who is this? Hello? Hello? Who's trying to call me? What are they trying to do?
Your call, please?
Hello, operator. I don't know what's the matter with the telephone tonight, but it's positively driving me crazy. I've never seen such inefficient, miserable service. Now look, I'm an invalid and I'm very nervous and I'm not supposed to be annoyed, but if this keeps up much longer...
What seems to be the trouble?
Well, everything's wrong. I haven't had one bit of satisfaction out of one call I've made this evening. The whole world could be murdered for all you people care. Now my phone keeps ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing every 5 seconds. When I pick it up, no one's there.
I am sorry. If you will hang up, I will test it for you.
I don't want you to test it for me. I want you to put that call through. Whatever it is, at once.
I'm afraid I cannot do that.
You can't? Why? Why, may I ask?
The dial system is automatic. If someone is trying to dial your number, there's no way to check whether the call is coming through the system or not. Unless the person who's trying to reach you complains to his particular operator.
Of all the stupid. And meanwhile, I've got to sit here all alone and suffer every time that phone rings, imagining everything.
I will try to check the trouble.
Check it. Check it.
For you, ma'am.
Oh, check it. What's the use of talking to you? You're so stupid. I'll fix her. There she speaks to me.
Your call, please?
Young woman, I don't know your name, but there are ways of finding you out. And I'm going to report you to your superiors for the most unpardonable rudeness that's ever been my privilege. Oh, give me the business office at once.
You may dial that number direct.
Dial it direct. I'll do no such thing. I don't even know the number.
The number is in the directory, or you may secure it by dialing information.
Listen here, you. What's the use? For heaven's sake, I'm going out of my mind. Hello? Hello? Stop ringing me. Do you hear? Answer me, who is this? Who is this? Do you realize you're driving me crazy? Who's calling me? What are you doing it for? Now stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it at once. Do you hear? And if you don't stop ringing me, I'll call the police. Do you hear? Hello? Only Albert. No, only Albert would come home. Let it ring. I won't answer it. I won't answer it no matter how many times it rings. I won't answer it. Oh, it stopped. Oh, why did it stop all of a sudden? Oh, what time is it? Where's my clock? Oh, 5 to 11. They've decided something. They're sure I'm home. They've heard my voice answering, and that's why they've been ringing. is she? Why doesn't she answer?
You call, please?
Where were you just now? Why didn't you answer? Give me the police department.
I'm sorry, the line is busy. I will.
Busy? That's impossible. The police department can't be busy. There must be other lines available.
The line is busy. I will try to get them for you later.
No. I've got to speak to them now. It may be too late. I've got to talk to somebody.
What number do you wish to speak to?
I don't know, but there must be someone to protect people besides the police department. There must be somebody at a detective agency.
You will find agencies listed in the classified directory.
No, I can't dial it. Dial it for me, please.
I will connect you with information. Perhaps she will be able to help you.
No. Oh, you're being spiteful, aren't you? You don't care what happens to me. I could die, and you won't care. Stop it. Stop it at once. I can't stand it anymore. Hello? What do you want? Stop ringing. Will you stop? Hello?
Hello, is this Plaza 32099?
Yes, this is Plaza 32099.
This is Western Union. I have a telegram here from Mrs. Albert Stevenson. Is there anyone there to receive the message?
Hi, Mrs. Stevenson.
The telegram is as follows. 53, Mrs. Albert Stevenson, 53 North Sutton Place, New York, darling, terribly sorry. Tried to get you for last hour, but line busy. Leaving for Boston, 11 p.m. tonight on urgent business. Back tomorrow afternoon. Keep happy. Love. Signed, Albert.
Oh no.
Do you wish us to deliver a copy of the message?
No, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Good night.
Good night. Oh, Albert, come home. Where is he? Why doesn't he come home? Oh, Albert, how could you? I have to call the operator.
Your number, please?
Operator, that number, Murray Hill 40098. Just once more for me, please.
You may dial that number direct.
4, 9. Oh, Albert, how could you? How could you? But I can't stay alone. Not tonight. If I'm alone one more second, I go mad. I don't care what he says or what the expense is. I'm entitled to some consideration.
This is information. May I help you?
I want that telephone number to Henchley Hospital.
Henchley Hospital. Do you have the street address?
No. It's somewhere in the 70s. It's a very small, private, and exclusive hospital where I had my appendix out 2 years ago. Henchley, Henchley.
One moment, please.
Please hurry, and please, what time is it?
You may find out the time by dialing Meridian 7 1212.
heaven's sake, I've no time to be dialing.
All right. The number of Henchley Hospital is Butterfield 89970.
Oh, Butterfield 8. 9, 9, 7. Oh. Is that Henchley Hospital?
Henchley Hospital.
Nurses Registry?
Who is it that you want to speak to?
I want the nurses registry at once. I want a trained nurse. I want to hire her I want to hire her immediately for the night.
I see. What is the nature of the case, madam?
Nerves. I'm very nervous. I need soothing and companionship. You see, my husband is away and I'm...
Have you been recommended to us by any doctor in particular, madam?
No, but I really don't see why all this is necessary. I want a trained nurse. I was a patient in your hospital 2 years ago, and after all, I do expect to pay this person for attending me.
We quite understand that, madam, but these are war times. You know, registered nurses are very scarce just now, and our superintendent has asked us to send people out only on cases where the physician in charge feels it is absolutely necessary.
Well, it is absolutely necessary. I'm a sick woman. I'm very upset, and I'm all alone in this house, and I'm an invalid, and tonight I overheard a telephone conversation that upset me dreadfully. A woman is going to be killed when a train crosses a bridge. In fact, if someone doesn't come at once, I'm afraid I'll go out of my mind.
Well, I'll speak to Miss Phillips as soon as she comes in. And what is your name, madam?
Miss Phillips, when do you expect her in?
I really couldn't say. She went out to supper at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock? But it's not 11 yet. It's oh, my clock has stopped. I thought it was running down. What time is it?
Just 15 minutes past 11. What was what, madam?
That click just now in my own telephone, as though someone had lifted the receiver off the hook, off the extension telephone downstairs.
I didn't hear it, madam. Now, about this nurse.
But I did. There's someone in this house. Someone downstairs in the kitchen, and they're listening to me now. They're listening. I won't pick up. I won't let them hear me. I'll be quiet. But if I don't pick up, and if I don't call someone now, that's why they're still down there. There'll be no time. I've got to get to that operator.
Your call, please.
Operator, I'm in desperate trouble.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. Please speak louder.
I don't dare speak louder. There's someone listening. Can you hear me now?
I'm sorry.
But you've got to hear me. Please, you've got to help me. There's someone in this house, someone who's going to murder me, and you've got to get in touch with them. There it is. Did you hear it? He's put it down. He's put down the extension phone. He's coming up the stairs. Give me the police department.
One moment, please. I will connect you.
Hurry. Hurry, I can hear him. Oh, no, please, no.
Police Station 53, Sergeant Martin speaking.
Police department? Oh, I'm sorry. I must have got the wrong number. Don't worry. Everything's gonna be okay. Sorry, Wrong Number was originally produced and broadcast live by Columbia Broadcasting on May 25th, 1943. If you enjoyed this Newton Theater Company program, help support additional ones like the next upcoming Zoom radio hour, War of the Worlds, with a donation on our website, newtontheatercompany.com. There you can also donate to the Theater Community Benevolent Fund, which is focused on dispersing emergency funds for theater artists hurt by the COVID-19 disaster. Or else, you might just receive a phone call from a mysterious stranger. Who is this? Why, yes, I do want to donate. Thank you for asking. Sorry, where was I? Yes, our show was directed by the easily panicked Melissa Bernstein. Technical support by the easily suspicious Bernie Bernstein. Our brilliant cast is as follows: Linda Getz as the unfortunate Agnes Stevenson, Matt Crawford as conspiratorial Jim, Sarah Brooke Vanneman as the very patient telephone operator, Tatiana Ramos as the by-the-book chief operator, Chuck Schwager was our very busy police sergeant Martin, Anna Stenberg was the well-groomed information operator, Naomi Lee was the excitable Western Union messenger, Maggie Kernan was the unreceptive hospital receptionist. This is Paul Walsh, your man in black, and George signing off. Good night, everybody. Stay healthy.